All right, we are live on
Justness.
Facebook. I saw something though where they're talking about how like the like CEO of Instagram or someone in Instagram, when they were going live, they spent like the first 2 minutes before they made an announcement, not saying anything to anybody, just kind of like doing their thing. And so like I think that when you're live, it's easier. It's better to give yourself some compassion and how we show up, because people are usually jumping on anyways. Takes a minute for people to hop on. So,
oh, that's so strange. It's just popped up with share this video, green stand.
Perfect. It's like, we know what you want, we know what you need. I'm trying to see, we are on Facebook, right? Yeah, there we are. Okay, cool. So I see this now. Yay. So then comments and stuff are there too. Okay, cool. So I am so excited, you guys. While Yvette is sharing, I'll go ahead and introduce everything today. So we are doing the new moon and Pisces live today. So if you've been with us for other new moons, full moons, you'll kind of know the drill. But if you haven't, we talk about what this moon means, what the energy is about. We talk about what kind of flowers can help support you and help you move through the energy of this new moon as well too. And then we break it down into the elements, so fire signs, earth signs, air signs, and water signs, what this new moon is doing for you as an individual. Feel free to listen to your sun, moon, and rising for those. If you're interested in love or career, Venus for love and Saturn for career are really good options as well too. These are things to explore and learn more about yourself, learn more about this, how you can move through this new moon, and get supported by flowers and the zodiac. So for those who don't know me, I'm Katie Turner, and I am an astrologer, a twin flame coach, and I basically just help people cultivate self-love through self-understanding. I help people find that ideal lifestyle balance that works for them, that really just helps you kind of go from being who you are and loving who you are, but then also to actualizing things, because it can be frustrating if we have all these dreams, they're not manifesting so much. So helping people kind of cultivate that alignment to get there and to kind of just really embrace all the aspects of who you are, which is why I love astrology. And today I am here with Yvette, and if you don't mind, Yvette, introducing yourself today.
Hi, as Pete said, I'm Yvette, and I'm a spiritual flower lady, and I work with the energy of flowers, and that's with everything I do. So whether it's with flower arrangements, flower readings, in flower healing sessions, workshops and programs, it's all about connecting you to the spirits of the flowers, because they all have messages for us. So it's getting you to understand and see and learn about the messages that flowers have for us, because they're there to help us with our well-being, with our emotions, and they're to help heal us. And as you do work with me, you begin to see flowers with different eyes. So it's not just to see the beauty that they hold, but also to understand that there are messages that they have for us, and they're there to heal us with everything that we're doing, with how we're going through life. So it's helping you to, once you're kind of in that space, you're then kind of working within, and we get to work on your inner self. So that's getting in touch with that inner flame that burns within you. So it's either to relight it or to sort of make that flame burn a little higher and brighter, so you can stand in your power.
Which is super exciting and awesome and really helpful for like where we are right now and the timing of everything, which we'll talk more about this later. We both have spring workshops to celebrate the spring equinox, the new energy, the new year coming in there that we'll talk about a little bit later. But right now we are in Pisces season, and Pisces is the very last zodiac sign of the cycle. And so this is like the last month. So it's kind of like the December of the natural cycle. It's the last month of winter as well. So if you're in the Northern Hemisphere and tuned into the natural cycles, this is the last month of that kind of like barren, cold, not life producing season where we just kind of have to hunker down and hibernate and make our way through. And we're in the last week of this last month as well too. And so it's kind of like that sweet spot between Christmas and New Year's. That's what this energy is right here. And so Pisces is really about reflection and review and processing things. It is very much about spirituality. It's about your spiritual alignment, your energy, your subconscious. And so looking into as we reflect on the end of this whole year. So if you look back, between last spring and today, where have you how far have you grown? What have you all accomplished? You know, what can you celebrate about yourself? What are you really proud of? What do you want to let go of? What are you ready to release? What are you carrying that's no longer yours or wasn't yours to begin with that you're ready to let go of? Where are you wanting to expand more into your dreams and all of that good juicy stuff before March 20th, when the sun goes into Aries, it's all about that new beginning, that spark, that fire that you're talking about, Yvette, that you help people do, which that sparking the fire, that fanning of the fire. This energy is like that pre-moment. And so if you are looking to get your flame ignited, hit up Yvette, because that is the perfect energy for this. But the new moon is a time of setting intentions and planting seeds. It's when the sun and the moon are in the exact same part of the sky, so they're able to communicate and express as one. The sun being our creative heart, what we want to give birth to. The moon being our fertile soil, how we nurture and tend to something. And so it's like our creative desires and our ability to nurture things are like right in sync here. And so the new moon being in that Pisces space of reflection, review, and soul realignment, this is the perfect new moon for you to set the intentions that are just true to your soul, that are just speaking from your highest desires. Pisces is known as the sign of like disillusionment and confusion or disappointment, because it is sometimes like rose-colored glasses. It's the dreamiest expression of what could be. And while, sometimes reality, Virgo energy shows us that life isn't the dreamiest expression of what could be, when we're in Pisces season, when we're in this new moon energy, it's still important to plant those seeds, because it could be that, we're expecting those seeds to manifest in a certain timeline or in a certain way, or we're expecting them to manifest when we're not fully in alignment with them. But if we plant those seeds now and just surrender and trust that, the dreams that are meant to come into fruition will, and, not every seed we plant does bloom. That happens. There's some seeds that just don't grow, nothing happens with them. And so, being able to give yourself permission to really dream the biggest dreams you can, to not limit yourself to just anything your soul is whispering or shouting. It could be loud, it could be quiet, those whatever stirrings are in your heart, just give yourself permission to set those intentions, to plant those seeds. If you're feeling a little wonky, sleepy, tired, if emotions are coming up right now for you as well too, if you're feeling kind of like everything's chaotic, it's hard to kind of find your flow, you're questioning everything, things are kind of falling apart, Pisces does dissolve boundaries. And so tend to yourself first too. And if you're having a hard time thinking, what you want to set intentions for, sit with yourself, whether it's journaling, meditation, even like I'm seeing more like the chakra healing and balancing, so like more hands-on moving of energy within yourself. If you do that for yourself, or if you seek energy workers to help you as well too, you can do that. But just moving energy and releasing things and letting things go, because we're not quite there at spring yet, we're not quite over winter yet, we're still here in the space of not quite ready yet to create, not quite ready yet to give birth and to start anew. So really soaking in those primordial waters, the what could be, the imagination, the dreamy, the clouds, this energy of pre-formation, and in that form as well too. Like if what you want to plant your seeds for continues to form and develop during this time, then that's okay as well too. That's kind of like the overarching energy of this new moon. It's just this how can you get within yourself and maybe block out other people. Pisces doesn't have natural borders, so if you need to go into a room and shut the door where you're alone, just literally physically put people on the other side of a boundary for yourself, just to kind of splurge your energy out and to dance with it, then I think that's a beautiful thing to do. And your intentions could be things you want. They could be getting closer to your soul. They could be releasing something, like if you intend to release something, if you intend to manifest something. So like, okay, if you really want a certain level of success in your business, but you're not there, then your intention could be that success in your business, or it could be alignment with that success, or alignment with who you would be if you were in that position where you're successful. And so like sometimes there's moments where I want something, but my lifestyle, my habits are not lining up with the person I would be if I had that thing. And so we can plant the seeds to kind of allow ourselves to form as well into the way that kind of supports the dreams and things of that nature. So if you're wanting to kind of do some energy alignment or see things grow in that department, you can plant seeds there as well too. And I'm so curious what the flower is that's going to be to support us during this one.
Well, the flower that's come up for us, but it's also what you were saying about the communication part. That took me to the flower that I pulled for the month of March, which was the pink lily, which is all about that your soul purpose, and it's really connecting to you and reminding you what you actually want to do. But there was a bigger message with it about communication, really taking time out to communicate with yourself, of how you want. It's more of yourself and not necessarily with others, because it's all about yourself first. And the flower that came up, and you can see this one here, is the camellia. Again, that little yellow bit in the center is your solar plexus. This is your self-esteem, who you are, and giving you that sense of who you are. And what the camellia is there for is to let you know that you are lovable. So this time where you could be having doubts, like I've had a week of doubts going on. So this is letting you know that, you know, you are lovable for who you are, because you can be reflecting, and could be some of us who are looking back on aspects of our lives before, like a couple of years ago, when we were in a relationship with somebody and they weren't treating us too good and made us feel a little bit less of what we are, made us look at ourselves kind of differently. And this also goes for people who are different from everybody else. You know, we are all different, we're all unique. We can admire people, want to be like somebody, but you don't have to be exactly like that person. You can take aspects of them that really resonate with you, but then bring that quality that you're looking for in them, in yourself. So the camellia is kind of like, over the next couple of days, really sit with yourself, because the energy is coming up for you. It's, if you've done any clearing this week, because I know I've done a lot of releasing and kind of reset myself, then it's kind of, you've got this clear, clean vessel. It's not an empty vessel, it's just kind of been polished and cleaned, like the windows have been, you can see out the windows, a bit like spring cleaning, because it's coming up to that time in the energy of doing it. And then just sit, and how would you like, you know, do you want some blinds? Do you want some lovely drapes on your windows? How do you want to feel your insides to be? Would you want to dress yourself up with how is it that you want to be? And no, you've got to bring in you this time, and not take the aspects of what somebody else has made you feel you are. So it's about really bringing in who you are over the next couple of days, because you want to step into spring with this sense of, I know what I want and not what I don't want. It's really kind of getting clear for you.
Yeah, I love that. I love as well, like the solar plexus energy. I think it's very important for Pisces, especially, like we talk about the doubts and stuff like that. Like if you can cultivate a strong center, a strong trust in yourself, then even when things are unclear or hazy, or when there is no right answer, or when things are kind of, you know, full of doubts, you can trust that you'll get through that period, that phase. You'll be able to make it to the other side, which I think is super helpful. And I didn't mention, we also have 2 other planets in Pisces right now. We have Neptune and Venus. So you might feel relationship energy here, balance, the need to harmonize, the need to kind of find equilibrium. And Neptune rules Pisces, so it just kind of increases the Pisces energy of all of this. But I love the overall message that you're giving, Yvette, of find yourself, love yourself, and you're lovable, and like bring it back to you. I think that's exactly what people need as they spring clean their energy right before, or I call it a soul spa sometimes, like Pisces energy, a 12th house, like a soul spa before you move into spring energy, which will be also really exciting as well in its own way. But yeah, I love that. We also have Tina, who commented saying, well, long time no see, ladies. I'll be listening in on this with you. Thank you. We're really glad to have you back.
Hey,
and Caroline says hello. So hi, or she says hi. So hello, Caroline.
So as we're going through this, if anybody feels anything relates to them in any way, then just drop a comment in and we can sort of elaborate on that. Although it's not personal readings, it's for the elements and your zodiac signs. But if you're live here or even on the replay, you put the comment down, then we might be able to get back to you and, you know, kind of expand on what it is that you're feeling.
Yes, definitely. Because like we'll speak for the general, but then that allows it to get a little more specific. And you might find that if someone else leaves a comment it might be asking what you needed to hear without even realizing that's kind of
Yeah.
what you need as well too. That's one good thing about Pisces is you have an abundance of spiritual assistance and help and alignment and like coincidences and it's all about alignment. So if you're in alignment with getting help or hearing a message or having something fall, you know, across your path, then that's totally there for you. And also too, sometimes we're not aware of what we're in alignment with. We kind of think of that sometimes with like bad things, like, you know, we attract things that we kind of reflect like negative self-view or something like that. But also too, we really do the other opposite as well. Like we reflect or we attract unexpected support or help just in the nick of time, because there is a part of us that is open to that. So if you are needing more of that energy, trust that, you know, it can come with Pisces. We also have a lot of Aquarius energy, which is also very supportive in that way. Julie says she can also relate to questioning everything this week. Both of you guys have Virgo energy, so I know we're going to go into the signs more specifically, but if you have Virgo specifically, or even Gemini or Sagittarius, this can be a tough new moon, because Pisces is such a strong experience and it can be very different from what people experience, especially Virgo, who's literally the opposite of Pisces. Virgo is detail and order and structure and routine and things you can ground into. So just be really patient with yourself, and it's about the love, it's about being true to yourself. And so if that means, you know, whatever it means for you, make it about you, make it for you. That being said, I think we are ready to dive into the elements. So because it is water energy with Pisces, we'll go with water first. Water signs are emotional, sensitive. They're Cancer. Hold on, sorry, I kind of am out of order there. Scorpio and Pisces. Nope, that's tagging someone who has Pisces in their name. That's not what I'm looking for.
Tag them and they can join us.
Yes, that'll be interesting. They're like, what's going on here? But they probably get tagged a lot in Pisces things. But water signs are those like empathetic, deep. They're like this Pisces energy, right? Of like melting boundaries and going within and diving into your soul. Like all of the water signs have an element of that in just different capacities, whether they're going into psychology, emotions, or spiritual self. It's diving into the depths of who you are and what's going on there in order to get, you know, to know yourself better, get to move energy, heal energy. Water also too just, you know, quenches thirst, it quenches the soul, it kind of just revitalizes and you know, we're a lot of us is water. We need water. It's a life force energy.
Yeah.
So for water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, this energy is happening in your fire houses. And so it is all about really, really honoring that spark within you, your desire for new beginnings, your understanding of who you are, especially Pisces. You know, it's your identity and where you know, even though spring is starting and like in a week for Pisces, spring kind of feels like now as well too. You're getting a little bit of an early spring just because of that Pisces energy. It's your birthday, and so you're having that revival there. It's for all your water signs, your creative self, your heart and what is true to you. This is more Scorpio is like, how are you, and this is like a specific message for Scorpio or Scorpio moon, Scorpio, any Scorpio energies. To me, it feels really like this, how do you sit with that fixed energy, that stable, that solid energy that is yourself? So like there's some energy that's, you know, self-starting or go with the flow. It's like, you know, how do you sit that solid part of self? And then also too, this is more for Cancer energy, that big picture, that like shooting a arrow back, you know, where do you want to go launching? Where do you want to go being directed, especially, you know, moving into spring? If we're not launching you yet, you know, where do you want to be pulled back so that when spring hits, you can let go of your energy and just fly in that right direction? So really just cultivating like the message that you know, and I got with the new moon is like yourself and who you are and what you need, and just really building that. I know that's probably not as like, I'm hoping your message will be a little bit more specific and nuanced for water energy, because I'm like, it's just go be you. But like, I mean, as a water sign, I'm a Pisces and I have a Cancer rising. That's what I feel. Like, I just feel excitement and fire, and I'm ready to go, and I feel aligned with who I am, and I feel just like excited. And if you're not there, that's energy is available for you. So I think that kind of really is the water signs. Maybe there is this message too of what do you want to do with all that fire? Where do you want to direct that fire? Where do you want to send it? You know, is it just, I'm so excited, but it's ungrounded and it's not going anywhere? Or is it, I'm excited, let's channel it, let's direct it, let's put it in this area? So really thinking about your intentions and your momentum and your orientation, your direction. It doesn't have to be like you making big changes, but if, you know, if when a gust of wind moves you and you're facing this direction versus this direction, that's going to change what path you take. And so just shifting your orientation towards that which you seek, that which you're really craving. Healing, release, empowerment, passion, connection, fulfillment, all that good juicy stuff. Orient yourself towards that. Now, please do tell me.
No, they've got a lot to digest there. Let's see what flower comes up for the water signs. Well, we've got the eucalyptus.
Ooh.
She's all about opening up your arms, opening up yourself to receive. And that is what it is. Again, we've got the little solar plexus energy in the center of the flowers. So it is about kind of feeding yourself. As we're saying, that it's all about you and what you want. So it's like feed yourself. Being open to receiving is not like someone's going to sit down and feed you things. It's like, again, when I was talking about, this is somebody that you like, that you want to aspire to be, take aspects of those and, you know, build up on that. But it's like also take aspects of what you see in somebody, what you see in situations, what you see out in life, and take the juicy good bits from it. This just keeps the not and the what is what keeps coming up for me. And that's something I'm taking into my workshop, which I'm doing next Saturday. As you're going into spring, we're going to focus on what you do want and not what you don't want. Because enough times we're setting our intentions for something and we go, yeah, I don't want it to be like this, and I'm looking for the perfect person. I don't want them to have blonde hair. I don't want them to have you know, tattoos. I don't want. So what is it that you're just focusing on what you don't want? So the universe does not have him the don't. It's just saying want tattoo, want blonde hair, whatever. So you really got to be kind of feed yourself. And it's just like if you can see the eucalyptus, it's like all the little parts of it, it's just open. It's just like, I call them little tentacles just sitting there, but it's still like your sensory parts just picking up. It's just like you're on fire, open, you're looking to receive energy. So it's like feel into what you're looking for, just feel for the energy that's good for you. And it's, you know, don't connect with people who don't make you feel good, who make you feel that your awkwardness is really more than part of your characteristic, making it feel like it's really weird, and it isn't. It's just that you're not connecting with them, but there is someone, if they think that you're awkward, is just as awkward as you are. So this is this tribe finding thing as well. So really about feed yourself, feeding your soul, your inner self, that flame that's within you, kind of keep it burning and feed and be open to receive and open to help. And someone's offering for you to do something for you, accept the help. If they're offering you wise words, take those words in. Don't, you know, you might not, it could be in anger, someone's giving you some advice, you know it's kind of good advice, but you know we can get our backs up and go, no, I'm not listening to them, even though they are talking sense. It's listen to what they have to say, dismiss, you know, you might be angry, just take some little nuggets that people are giving you, and then, you know, pay attention to what signs have been shown to you, how many times something's come up for you. Take it as, you know, that is a good sign. Or if you don't feel like it is going to feed you and it's come up like 3 times, some people go, oh, that's been said 3 times, that must be a sign for me to accept what they want to say. But not necessarily, just tune into how it feels. Does it make you feel excited or warm and all cozy, or does it make you feel a bit uncomfortable and no, that doesn't feel right? So really kind of take notes of what it is that you're going to be feeding yourself.
I really like that a lot. Yeah, that's a very helpful and useful message for water signs as well, because we are so sensitive and we are so affected by other people. And so it's like that like be conscious of what's happening and how you're supporting yourself. I love that. You also mentioned your workshop. Will you tell everybody a little bit more about that? Because I'm
Yeah,
gonna be
so
there.
my
I'm so
workshop
excited.
is about spring, as you were saying that, you know, March, coming to the 20th of March is the first day of the astrological new year. So spring makes you feel excited, and the sun is shining a little bit more. We've got brighter days, we've got daffodils popping up, and this is all about connecting to the spring flowers. When I do workshops, we set an intention for a purpose, and this purpose is to enter the new year. What do we want for the new year? So if you set some goals in January and you feel that they haven't been fulfilled, you've ignored them, like that gym membership always gets signed up and then forgotten, although you can't go to the gym now anyway, so that's another reason why it's probably been put to the side. Kind of reset your new year with the energy of spring, with the energy of the spring flowers. So we'll be focusing on the daffodils and the beautiful messages they have, the daisies, the dandelions, all these flowers that we see for spring. So it's about setting your intentions. What are you planning to do for yourself? What do you want to see unfold? If you're not thinking about the whole year ahead, the first few months of the year, because it's like, I'm almost saying like a child, this first 7 years of the child sort of sets what they're going to be like and all the things that they get fed. This is like set your year as that of what would you feed your child, some great nutrients and intelligence, and just sowing some seeds. It could be for love, for business, for yourself, just to grow within yourself, every aspect of you. Just come with the what you do want and not the what you don't want, and then we'll do beautiful healing meditations with the flowers, so we can set your intentions. I'm looking forward to it. It just feels exciting. It's like fireworks. We haven't got any fireworks, but it's a celebration of, there's a lot of energy of yellow in there for celebration.
Yeah, I'm like so excited. I'll be there and cannot wait to connect. Like, yeah, you mentioned like all the yellow flowers. I'm like, ooh, so
yeah, there's a lot
like,
of energy.
Solar plexus has been a hot chakra for me lately. And it's come up so far in our main flower, and it's come up in the flower for water signs as well too. So it seems like solar plexus energy is a hot topic for a lot of people. So I love that. If you can
just pop the link there in
okay, cool. In the comments. Perfect. There you go. It popped up, and there you go. Have this beautiful yellow flowers in the icon as well. So go check that out, you guys. You won't regret it. It's gonna be well worth it. And I think too, just like it's a springtime and then flower energy, like it marries.
They marry each other.
Yeah.
Because we all seen all those little flowers pop up from the ground. So yeah.
I've been noticing as well too. So like since listening to what you talk about with flowers and whatnot, like you mentioned, I think it's daffodils, bluebells, and crocus, right, are all like the first flowers of spring. And my grandfather, his wife posted, or I guess my grandmother posted on she's not like grandmother, but like they got married after my dad was out of the house. But anyways, that's irrelevant. They posted pictures of those flowers on their Facebook, and we're talking about like the first flowers of spring. I was like, oh my goodness. And then when I was walking around the neighborhood, I'm seeing all the daffodils that are blooming, because we have a lot of those as well too. So like I love that you're getting to drive straight in that energy right at this like beautiful like door opening into springtime. Like, yeah, that's an exciting workshop.
Thank you. Gonna be good.
I'm excited for it. All right, so if we don't have any questions about the workshop or water signs, and if you do, even after we start talking about fire, that's okay too, please let us know. Otherwise, we will move on to fire signs, which is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Full disclosure, my other big three is fire energy. So the first two are probably more you're Leo too, so the first two are kind of
I'm sitting now waiting attentively to what's going to be said.
So for the fire signs, which are passionate, self-expressive, creative, excited, active, like they're just, fire signs just want to put out into the world that which sparks their own fire. It's going to be in the water houses, so it's going to be in your realm of home, roots, nurturements, nutrients came to mind as well too, especially building off of what you were talking about, Ebony, or Ebony. Oh my God, Yvette, I'm sorry. I just pulled a mom thing. My mom always says that when she calls everybody the wrong name. I just did that. Oh my goodness.
I'll give you that because it starts with an E.
Yes. Okay. So sorry about that. Now I'm like, okay, where was you said you were talking about what you're feeding yourself as the water energy, what are you feeding your fire with? And to me, I feel like kind of as well too is like with this energy for fire signs, it's what nutrients are going on, what foundation are you building for yourself? How are you tending to your flame? And this is a new moon, so it's really about setting intentions too as well. So like if you're not fully able to tend to all of your needs, can you set the intentions that those needs will get met, that you can expand in that way, that it will grow for you in that way? There's also the energy of transformation, I get this energy of burning things away, and what are you, what forests are ready to be kind of burnt down so that new growth can come, and fresh energy can move through that as well. Like there's this energy of transformation and empowerment. So as a fire sign, you guys are really kind of empowered in general. Like, fire signs have a good degree of confidence, but this is also to me like, where are those hidden areas maybe you don't share with the world that are a little insecure, that aren't feeling the most confident right now? And can you take that like fire energy to move through it and release and burn and transform that forest as well too? Can you alchemize that energy as well? And then the last little area for fire signs is going to be kind of Pisces in nature, where it's that solitude, alone time, where you can realign yourself, where you can reorientate yourself, where you can call back all your pieces that are you can send out all the energies that are not you, and just feel more in alignment with the direction you're wanting to go. And being fire energy as well too, if it helps to just burn up any energy inside of you that's no longer serving, use that theme of your element to your advantage, and really call that energy in. So Yvette, what energy do you have to support the fire signs?
Well, I'm feeling that energy of time alone to sort of really work on yourself. We were speaking about just before we came on, weren't we?
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely. And it's super big, especially for fire signs. I feel like of all the signs, fire signs are gonna have like the biggest like besides Virgo, the biggest like time with the water energy of Pisces, because they're like ready to go, and Pisces is like, but let's dream and float and dance and just melt things away.
Well, this is the flower that kind of dropped out, so I'm taking it. It's the red rose, and that is all about kind of licking your wounds, but it's melting your wounds. It's just really taking care of your wounds. I'm seeing like visions of like a dog, like a dog takes care of themselves, they groom themselves, biting around at the fleas and, giving the old lick and everything. It's all about you kind of taking your time out for yourself, as you're saying there. And the redness reminds me of, because you're talking about forest burning and things like this, it just reminds me of like hot ashes, and there is nutrients in ashes as well. So it is, whatever you're setting free, it was nutrient for you, it's part of you, but you can now let it go, because ashes is going to blow off, or they're just going to go down and become part of the soil wherever they land. And this is all about us taking care of ourselves, looking at the wounds. And the red rose is a real heart-centered flower, so if you've got any wounds of the heart that you want to heal, to close up, or to just when I talk about the wounds of the heart, there's a lot of seeping, let the wounds seep out, whatever's going on, and that's kind of letting it out and letting it go, and then kind of like putting a nice little pretty band-aid over it, just to sort of see that now it's kind of left you. So there's a lot of this letting go, which makes me feel quite good that that's what's been happening. I'm not going crazy. There's a reason why it's in alignment. And then you're kind of, as we were saying, it was a lot of signs earlier that cleanse in, or maybe I think it's for the in general for the new moon energy, that you're just clearing that vessel and you're clearing it, that spring cleaning. And when you've done all of that, then you're kind of setting yourself up to enter the spring. That makes me feel a bit more excited that when it comes to the first okay, it's not the 1st of January. I'm going, when it comes to the new year next
Mhm.
week, it feels like I'm kind of ready. It's because I've cleared a lot. And
Mhm.
so if you feel like you're clearing away things, know that it's the right thing. And if you, as I say, when you flowers come up, if you feel that you want to go grab yourself some roses, go grab yourself some red roses, and it heals you. If you feel white roses come up as well, because they clear away negativity. But the red rose is really going to do your heart space for you. And kind of if you're looking to release and empty that vessel, just get some red roses. It's the
I
fire. It's the red part of
yeah,
the flame.
yeah, it's like fire energy, but also too like I feel like as a rose, I get really like watery energy with it, which is kind of what this new moon is for fire signs, is like this watery, fiery energy and how it mixes. Also too, when you're introducing yourself in the very beginning, you're talking about flowers. I just felt this energy of like red rose petals, like individual petals, and like the softness on like my face. And like if you would just like lay down and put them all on your face and just kind of like let it soothe the skin. And when you're talking about the dog kind of like cleaning himself, that energy came up again as well. And so I wonder if this is almost like this bodied experience. Can you allow yourself to really soak and physically, like, do you need to take a moment and tend to yourself and replenish yourself and refuel
Mm.
yourself with that passion, that fire, that excitement that rose really opens up
Yeah,
to.
because when I was talking about the wounds of the rose and that's like the heart and putting the plaster in, it's actually petals that were kind of being put down rather than the plaster. So there is that rose energy. And if you've got like any rose essence or anything like that, you can bring that in if you don't want to go out and buy any roses. And also, you know, you can get roses, get the petals and just probably put them on your bed. You don't have to have, you know, it doesn't have to be a whole big romantic thing. You'll have a partner to do it. It's with just, it's loving yourself. This is the
Mhm.
whole, you know, the camellia is about loving yourself. So sprinkle those petals on your bed or just on your pillow or on yourself as you lie
Mhm.
down. And, you know, a little 10-minute meditation would be
Mhm.
wonderful.
I
I might
love that.
actually do that because I've got some dried rose pills. I might just
Yeah,
take some today.
absolutely. Especially because Pisces romanticizes things and it just makes it more enjoyable. So like even if it's like a meditation you normally always do, how can you romanticize it? Lighting candles into the rose petals, like really soften it and not for someone else, but for yourself, because you're romancing
Mm.
yourself and you get to deserve that. I love that energy. Oh, okay. I'm
First
excited.
fire, people.
Yeah, I think that's just that's so supportive and soothing. Yeah, I like that a lot. Okay, so if anybody has any questions about fire signs, please let us know. I do want to go on before we go into earth signs. We talked about Yvette's workshop. I want to talk about mine as well too. So
Yeah.
we're both having workshops on March 20th for the spring New Year. They're at different times. You can attend both, and they actually will probably work really well together as well too. So I think my workshop is a little earlier than yours because I'm doing mine in the morning, my time, and you're doing yours kind of in the
Nice in the
evening.
evening. Yeah.
Yeah. So the workshop that I'm doing is we're looking at the zodiac signs of spring. So spring starts, the new year starts when Aries, the sun moves into Aries. So Aries, Taurus, and Gemini is the spring time of the year. And so in the workshop, we're going to look at those energies, what those mean as a whole. And then we're going to zoom in even more into the decans. So the different subcategories in Aries and Taurus and Gemini. There's 3 different groups within those as well too. And what this energy means, and then looking at a calendar, looking at the dates the sun is moving through each of these decans, each of these zodiac signs, then looking at where is this in your birth chart, what house is it in, what planets is it hitting, if it is hitting any planets, and with those houses and with those planets, what other themes are available for you? Is Aries in your house of career? And so it's not just new beginnings, but it's new beginnings in towards your future and what you're building for yourself and your career energy. Or is it new beginnings in relationships? Is it new beginnings in your sense of self? Is it, you know, where are you directing that? And then Taurus energy is this grounding and settling into and committing into. Where does that occur? Is that in your 8th house of intimacy and connection and depth? Is that in your 6th house of routine and growth? And lastly, but not least, is Gemini, which is conversation and communication and connection and friendship. And same thing, where is that in your chart? What's happening there? So that you can then look at the next 3 months, even if it's not, you know, from the first of the month to the end of the month, but the next 3 astrological months, then the whole of spring, and seeing what dates, what chunks you're moving through, what themes and what energies. And that way you can kind of just plan with purpose. That's the name of the workshop, is plan with purpose, and direct yourself in a way that is honoring your flow. And I think honestly, if you really, really, really want to treat yourself on that Saturday, do both workshops, because I think my workshop will help with your workshop as well too, because then whatever you're sorry, someone called me, whatever you're learning about in my workshop will help you when you get to your workshop. We talk about what do you want, what are your seeds you're planting, because you're planting the seeds. I'm talking about what is the seed energy we're all looking at, so they could really help you connect. And then you, like, your workshop would just be expanding on what they learned in mine. I think that it would kind of go together really well. So if you're really wanting to treat yourself, I think that would be just a beautiful way to bring in spring and the new energy, the new year, getting to know more about yourself. And also too, like, my workshop is a side goal is to help you learn more about astrology and yourself. And we're not going over the whole birth chart or the whole zodiac wheel. And I think that's actually an advantage. We're just going over 3 zodiac signs, and it's 25% of your chart. And so we're going in with one chunk, so you can learn that energy really well and expand your vocabulary for yourself, your birth chart, and as well the zodiac signs, what those mean. So then in the future, when I'm talking about Aries new moon, you'll know what that means, or you'll have an idea already of what Aries energy is, or Gemini energy. So it helps expand all of that as well. But yeah, so I'm going to put in the comment section the link to my workshop. Check both of them out, and I'd love to see you guys and both of them, because they're going to be, I think, super, super amazing, and just a fun day to, like, embrace the spring energy.
Yeah, big New Year's party.
Yes, exactly. With the cool kids who celebrate the new year on March 20th.
The cool kid.
When the sun moves into Aries. Which, yeah, so if you've been feeling kind of out of whack with the new year, I think you talked about that earlier today, about, like, if January, you're not seeing your manifestations happening and stuff like that, this is a really, in my opinion, a more natural, maybe more feminine, a more softer way to approach new beginnings and seeing that revival of energy. So yeah, and if you have any questions about that, or your best workshop, please let us know in the comments, either on the replay, or you can DM us if you need to. Also too, if you are interested in the workshop but not quite ready, if it's for you, I'm putting the link for my email list. I'm going to send out a couple more emails about it this week. So if you just want to check it out and see what it's about, sign up for that email list, and then you'll be on that list to get more information without having to make that commitment quite yet if you're not exactly ready to just dive on in. But if you already dive on in, you can dive on in. Okay. So now that spiel is over, let's dive into the last 2 of the elements. So we have earth signs next, which is beautiful Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Earth signs are those practical, grounded, stable, like just healing, and we talk about this all the time, like with each one we do it every single time. I'm like, well, how do I bring the words to describe the beauty of earth energy? It is the soil that grows the plants. It is the crystals that we love and celebrate. It's herbs, it's tea, it's the food we eat, it's the wood we use to build our homes. It's so much, and it serves so many versatile purposes to tend to our physical experience here on earth. So earth energy to me is super sacred, and sometimes it gets like that boring rep because it's career, work, money, but it's also rich and vibrant, and all of those beautiful energies. So for earth signs, this new moon is happening in air houses. So it really is asking you to deal with your mind, your relationships, your ideas, and to reflect and to kind of almost like look at things differently than your own lens of things. Like I mentioned with Virgo energy, this new moon is tough because it's opposite of what you guys know. And so it really is kind of putting you out of your own comfort zone and into the space of getting to know something new, something different, being playful, engaging in curiosity, and mischief and like just experimentation as you try things on, reflection and balance. Maybe you feel called to talk to other people and in that way, or to get their opinions or advice, or connect to friends, or network, or make a difference in society. But because this is a new moon as well too, new moons are good for setting intentions. And so if you're needing to set intentions, if you're feeling like these areas are not where you want them to be, with that Pisces energy shining light on, what we want, what our soul really wants for ourselves. If you're feeling like maybe your mindset's not where you want it to be, or you're not feeling as confident in your throat chakra and communicating as you would like, or relationships, maybe you want a partner and you don't have one, or maybe you're wanting to heal from a relationship, or you're wanting to improve a relationship you already have, or if you're wanting to make more friends or connect to society, especially being in the pandemic as we are, we're having a harder time connecting with people. If you're wanting to find a way to make weekly Zoom game hangouts with your friends a thing, like, just if you're trying to call in that energy, to me this is a really good time of like, how do you want to set the intentions for that? And being earth energy, being stable, being this grounded energy, I almost get this image of like, you're the flower, who are the bees, who are the winds, who's the birds that's going to take your energy and pollinate and spread and move that outward, and then bring stuff back to you as well too. And so like, wind can move things around, bees can move things around, butterflies can, animals will sometimes eat things and get seeds and move things around. And so as an earth sign, the air houses are like those energies that are moving things for you. And so it's almost like, where do you want to set intentions for, call in support, and moving things for yourself, and moving ideas and moving energies. And so this is, to me, not about what you can do. And as earth signs, you are notorious for doing the work yourself. But to me, it almost feels like letting other people do the work, and calling them in, and really embracing the community energy of that. Like, we need bees, we need flowers, we need both of those. And so we can honor both of those and allow them to work together and be interdependent, and create something beautiful from that. And so like, in your own world, where can you find interdependence with other people in your community, in your tribe, in your area, whatever that is, just kind of expanding that and playing with that. I am curious what energy you're getting, Yvette, to help support these beautiful earth signs.
Same with the earth signs. Oh, we've got the same flower that's come up with the eucalyptus again.
I like that.
This is the same thing, like feeling again that solar plexus energy, and feeling into what you were talking about the earth. It's when you're grounding yourself, you put your feet on the ground, and your nerve endings are there. I'm just learning all about reflexology, so I know how important the base of our feet are. And when I used to do flower healings, I always used to draw out this energy from the feet, and your feet are so tired because they do a hell of a lot of work. You're on them all the time. They just take a battering because we're just constantly on them, and we don't often show enough love. Again, for Camellia, show yourself some love. So foot baths, really soak those endings of your emotions. They're all at the bottom here. Maybe have some time alone out in nature, putting your feet on the ground. I know it can be quite damp up in the UK, but sometimes just connecting with that little dampness is another connection with the core. I'm saying like Mother Earth. It's a grounding energy, and like putting your fingers in the ground. This is like all your nerve endings need to sort of ground yourself. It's that earth energy. And like you said, we've got all the crystals. There is so much nutrients in this earth and further down. So if you, when you're doing your meditation, you sometimes, or when I do the meditations, it's like imagining roots come out from the ground, your feet, and going into the ground. So if you're sat down and you just put your hands on the ground, you're still grounding yourself as well. And it's just your nerve endings and your fingers, there's chakras all over us, and your fingers, just put them down into the ground and just feel as though like roots coming out your fingers, or it's like electrical points just connecting. It's a real connection, and it's that time, you're speaking about time out for yourself. This is so when it comes to January, December comes, and we know January is approaching. This is all this new year, and we do sometimes take this time out. Lots of people take time out and reflect on the year that they had. So this is their reflect on the year that you had. There was, it's been a chaotic year, but ground into your being the good points of that, what you found. There is good points in everything, no matter how bad things have been. You maybe have found that you reconnected with yourself a lot more. You heard your thoughts a lot more, because we're forced to hear what's going on in our heads right now. Netflix can't consume every ounce of our thinking. So it's like you have taken time out, but this is like grounding that. Again, we're talking about these golden nuggets that we've got, grounding those, that what you found about yourself, what you want to bring forward into this new year. Take those things and say, no, I'm going to go into spring with that, because it's jolly. I just feel so much brightness for anyone who's taken that time out. You're really going to connect. It's almost like you're connected to the sun, you're connected to the elements, and it's just like, it's just going to be completely bright for you. But it's like reconnect. You have reconnect. It's like replugging yourself in. People believe in the matrix. Replug yourself into the matrix, get a bit of juice, and then move forward. That's what it feels like for them.
I love that energy. Also, too, feet are ruled by Pisces. So the fact that it came up for them, I like that even better too. So that energy of like, you said fingers as well too, but
yeah,
I like that energy of, being able to take care of that part of our body that really does take the beating.
Yeah.
And yeah, and there's a reason why it relates to Pisces, because Pisces is the very last zodiac sign, and so it has and some stories moved through all of the journey, so it understands everybody's path. It understands what it's like to be an Aries, a Taurus, Gemini. Maybe not like firsthand, but it can sympathize and empathize. It's one of the most empathetic of all the zodiac signs, and so, which we all have Pisces in us, so you don't have to be a Pisces sign to be empathetic, but it has all of that, and so it holds so much because it has walked 11 other journeys before reaching its own. So I love that energy of like, how can we stop, how can we take a break, how can we rest, especially as earth signs. We all have Pisces, we all have that energy, so how can you tend to that balance, that counteracting of all that work you're doing, tilling the earth and growing your gardens and manifesting.
Yeah, and that's that whole camellia thing about know that you are lovable. This is that self-love, like we had with the fire signs, the rose petals. Kind of bathe yourself in that, take off that energy of the rose. And flowers, get flower. You can get petals and sprinkle around for anything. So whatever flower you buy, you can just drop some in your bath even.
Yes.
Really, they can set it in.
Or if you have them in your backyard, maybe, because we have some daffodils in our backyard, and there's a couple different things. So if you have them in your garden, or I think y'all call them gardens there. We call them
we call them gardens. We call them yards.
Garden sounds so much nicer. But we use garden for intentionally planting something to harvest. So a little bit different. Yeah. So gardens like your flower bed or your veggies that you're growing. So do y'all use the same term for that? Or
yeah. You got a garden, you grow vegetables. It's a vegetable patch.
Okay, I like it. I do think that the way y'all call it garden, it probably makes people more open and receptive to the idea of like growing things intentionally.
Feels more feels more cozy.
Yeah, versus a yard.
Yeah.
Grow a yard. Go play. Bye.
Barren.
Yeah. All right. So if we have any questions about air signs or earth signs, let us know. If not, we can transition into air energy. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. That is the communicative, the expressive, the idea-oriented, conceptualizing, turning the human experience with the ideas that we could share and translate and connect with other people, and also to not just the idea component, but also to relationships and how we do connect people, and that tentacle energy of the eucalyptus, like how are we reaching out to everybody? Like, to me, that feels very air energy. For you guys, this is going to be happening in the earth house, and so it's going to be a new moon for you guys to bring some grounding into your life, to bring some stability, some intention, some rooting energy. I do get similar energies to what you're talking about, Yvette, about what earth signs need. you know, but like that kind of energy of rooting into going outside and grounding and being with nature. And even the message you said about, you know, in the past year, what was the good that you want to kind of plant and move forward into this energy? Like, you know, kind of what, of all that you've experienced, air signs, what do you want to ground into? What do you want to root into? What do you want to give more life, more movement? And then from there as well too, where do you want to see improvements? Are there any areas that you're wanting to shift? And this is like systems. So air signs are often kind of scattered, and not that you have to be, or that, you know, I'm calling you scattered, but sometimes if you relate to that feeling of feeling scattered, this isn't so much of you need to get everything in line and have a system and you know, be better about it. It's more of like to set the intention for systems to work for you, and like you to find what works best for you, where you're not having to lose the qualities of yourself to fit into the mold of, you know, what you think you should do, but rather like, can the systems meet you and support you in that way? And then also too, a little bit of future thinking. So in this new moon, in this Pisces new moon, what will your soul be appreciative of that you planted today or tomorrow? Because the new moon is tomorrow night or tomorrow morning, 5:21 a.m. our time, 10:21 a.m. your time in the UK. My time is Eastern Standard Time. But so like during this energy, what you know, what can you plant seeds into that will really, yeah, just in a year you'll be glad you planted. And to me, this is just things that, like, you know, dreams you want to actually go after, or this could be habits you're wanting to cultivate for yourself. And what comes to mind is this idea of when it comes to like things that we want quick fixes to, sometimes it's important to embrace that things take time. So what comes to mind there first for me is like health and weight. You know, people want to lose weight very quickly, when it's usually, if you're wanting to lose weight, it's going to be a long-term journey. Or, you know, business, you want really quick business success, you want clients now, you want your income now, but it might take you an actual long time to build that business. And so we sometimes don't want to do the work now for, you know, if we're not going to get a payoff for another year or two from it, or we're not going to get the quick fix benefits from it, but the time is going to pass anyways. And so like if 2 years are going to pass, and however old you are now, in 2 years you're going to be 2 years older, it's better to, what can you do in the next 2 years that will help support you where you want to be, rather than, I don't have it now, I can't get a quick fix, it's not going to work, I don't want it, I can't have it, or I'm mad, or I'm frustrated, or I'm upset. So it's like, rather than be like, I need to go on this diet now, or there's nothing else at all, or I need to hire this like really expensive coach, or nothing at all, maybe those are not the things you should do. Maybe it's about, how can I build my business from the foundations up? Maybe I should take some classes, or find you know, a more affordable coach, or find, you know, what tools really do help me, or just sit with it, or meditate, or you know, explore in that way. Or maybe I, you know, I'm not going to just, you know, do something and lose 30-40 pounds really quick. Maybe I'll just start walking daily, or shift how I eat, or change things. And so with this air sign energy, it's like, what can you engage in that maybe you want a quick fix in, but if you think about long term, what kind of shifts can you make to support that, if that makes sense? Yeah, so that's kind of energy I'm getting. What are you getting for our dear air signs?
Oh, we've got the Bromley ad.
Ooh.
Be positive. Again, whenever I see flowers like that, like how it sparks out, that's like you're tuning in again to everything that's going on. And it's more like a crown chakra one. It's like you open up your crown chakra and just like, I'm taking in everything, like, you know, bring it all in. And it is about this positivity. So stepping into your new year with positive thoughts, as we're saying with the earth signs, taking in those nuggets and really grounding them into what made you feel good. As you were speaking there, also Daisy, the dandelion came in to play as well as part of the flower, because with the dandelion, it's almost like you pick a dandelion and make your wishes, or leave it in the ground so it does mature, and as it matures, that it goes into the seed state, and it then disperses and everything goes up, and that's like it's carrying your wishes away. Now we're taking, you know, you said you take time, so it does. It's like, okay, let's process this. This is what you want. It's almost like writing out your your plan. And then, so in the yellow stage of dandelion, it's, I'm going to process this now. We're going to process it all and, you know, work with it, kind of feed it, do what we need to be doing with it. And then when it comes to the seed state, this is, I'm blossomed now, I'm matured, and I'm ready to set myself free. So let's just send this all out to the world. And, you know, so it's out there, whatever it is that you wanted to do, what you want to be, this is going out to the universe. It's like scattering your ashes. It's like scattering everything out to the wind, so that it's carrying all your thoughts, everything out there. So, you know, we all work, so everyone's unique, we all work with different energies. So if you maybe connect a lot with angels, then this is like having the angels taking this, your wishes out with them. The flower elements, you know, fairies, anything like that, you're just sending all this energy out. So that is kind of releasing. And this, the bromeliad is there to sort of say, keep that positivity. And it's still this pink color. So we've still got this feminine energy around you. And as you said, it feels like a more feminine way to bring in the new year. There's not so much pressure of do. This is like, this is kept saying, focus on what you want, and then take that through for you. Don't, you know, forget about the don'ts, what you don't want. It's like, what is it that you do want? Just think gently. You know, when I get people to do any workshops with me, I'm saying, look at the flower gently, not intensely. Look at it gently, just glance over it. So it's kind of just glancing over. Don't take it so seriously. Just glance over what you feel that you want, what felt good for you this year, what feels good for you now, what do you want to take into this new year, what do you want to, you want spring to sow your seeds to let come to fruition in a playful, gentle way. Don't really just lose the pressure. This feels like there's a pressure cooker behind it, like going, it's going off. I'm like, you gotta do it now. It's like, no, just, it doesn't have to be everything. You have 20 things on your list that you think, I want this for this year, but just think about, just look at that list and see what 3 things pop out, because 3 things are the start of something, and it just can snowball into you know, the other things that you feel so pressure that you need to do. And it's just going to be a gentle flow into them, and they will come around, because you're sowing the seeds. You know, we think we have to sow each individual 20 thoughts as a seed, but really just a few of those seeds is what we need to do, sow, to get the rest of what we want. So just think gently, what brings you, you know, a flutter to the heart when you're thinking about what you want. So just don't go too serious, lose the seriousness. Yeah, have your heads up in the sky, in the air. Be airy about it. Be light and gentle about how you're going to look at what you want to come through. Just 3 things, 3 main things, and that'll set the ball rolling for you for everything else.
I love that energy. I love the softness of it too. I think that's especially just very enjoyable energy. So I love that. Yay. So if we have any questions for air, earth, let's say wind and fire, I already said air, water and fire, feel free to let us know. Feel free to check out the workshops as well too. If you have any questions about those, please let us know as well. That will be March 20th when both of them will be happening at the respective times. Yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you, Yvette, for joining me as well too. We will be here, or we'll be on Yvette's page next time for the full moon, 2 Fridays from now on the 26th. So, and
just before we go, so if anyone's interested in flowers and learning a little bit more about flowers, I'm having my debut on Clubhouse tomorrow at 5 p.m. UK time. So if you're on Clubhouse, if you want to know what Clubhouse is all about, then just I'm going to put the link down here.
Yes.
So you can join me there, and Katie might pop in to say hi. Where I'll be speaking about the energy of flowers, so you can get a better understanding of when I choose flowers and mention flowers, what exactly is all going on. But thank you for joining us. I'm excited for this new moon, and I'm excited for the new year as we're going to see it.
Yes, absolutely. Please enjoy the rest of your winter period, the rest of your Pisces energy, the rest of this year as we know it. And I'll see you guys on the other side of the new year.
Bye.